towards Kangaroo Point. After 20 seconds, Lucy stopped to check her tires. Oh. Tires, spelled with a Y? I. Really? Yeah. We must meet. Oh, yes. Well, we must have gotten this from. I'll have to look it up when we're done if we have time. Okay. All right. After another 10 seconds, she hopped back in her bicycle. 30 seconds later, Lucy stopped at some traffic lights for 20 seconds before accelerating off the road, reaching her destination 30 seconds later. Okay. So, this is a distance time. One note, time, no matter when we're doing it, is always on the horizontal axis or the x-axis. So, let's look. From A to B and C to D, do you guys see that those are straight lines? Why are they straight lines? What in this tells you that they're straight lines? Shauna? Yes. See that word? Fast, constant speed. So in a distance graph, because this matters when we do the next one, if you're traveling constant at a constant rate, it's a straight line. What happened here? BC and DE means she is not moving. So in a distance graph, a flat or horizontal line means that she is stopped. Okay? And E to F, a curved line means she is speeding up because it's not constant. Okay? So this is constant speed. This is constant speed. This is speeding up because it's curved. And the flat means she stopped. And again, let's pay attention. This is only if this is a distance graph. So we can figure out the speed from a distance graph, like Mariceli said earlier, by finding the slope. Okay? And so, for instance, here's an example. The speed at which Lucy is traveling in the first part of her journey from A to B is what? Well, how far did she go? 100. In how much time? 20 minutes. 100 seconds, sorry. 100 meters divided by 20 seconds is 5 meters per second. One other thing I would like us to do is let's do this ourselves. Let's figure out Lucy's average speed over the whole graph. So let's look at where she starts. She starts where? 0, 0. Where does she end? 350, and it looks like, is it 100 or 110? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to write her average speed, and this means from A to F. And by the way, that would mean if I were to draw a line from A to F, that's why it's average, because she speeds up and slows down across the way, okay? Her average speed from A to F then would be, we said, is it 350 meters divided by how many seconds? All right, get your calculators out if you have one. So this is an average speed of 3.18. I'm going to put that repeating bar, and we've got to put some labels. Meters per second. Okay. So, one of the things you're going to do for homework tonight is you are going to answer questions 1 through 5, which refer to the graph on page 1. That's over here, okay? So that's one piece of your homework. And that is basically asking about the distance time graph again. So circle page 10. Page 10 is going to be one part of your homework. All right. Does anybody remember that CAF that we did yesterday? What kind of graphs those were? Were they distance time or were they speed time? Distance. They were. And so they were the same kind of concept as what we were talking about here, except those were mostly straight lines that we saw. Now we're going to look at something that we have not looked at yet in this class. Would you turn to page 11, and I want you to look very carefully at the units now. Now what's graphed on the y-axis? Velocity. The velocity. So a velocity of 0 means you're going 0 meters per second. So that means you're stopped, correct? Whereas before, 0 meant a distance of 0, meaning you hadn't started yet, okay? A flat line like this. Let's look at BC. All right, so BC is flat. That means it's got a velocity of 20. Does that mean that it stopped anymore? No, in a velocity graph, a flat line means something different. Okay, here, let's go and see if we can do it. Tell what is happening for each segment. Can somebody tell me if the velocity goes from 0 to 20 over 2 seconds, what is happening there? Speeding up, okay, so, or increasing speed. What is happening segment BC? Same speed, or I'm going to call that constant speed. What's happening in CD? Once again, speeding up, increasing the speed. How about DE? Constant speed. And you can even see what that speed is, 40 meters per second. EF, that's a little different. Decreasing. Slowing down, right? Or decreasing speed. All right, and then how about SG? Okay. Constant speed. And by the way, that just means keeping the same speed now that I have some more room. And these are not longer for any other reason except these are just fit next to it. Okay, there's not anything different going on. What about GH? Increasing speed. Or if you prefer to say speeding up, that is fine. What's another name for speeding up in science? Yeah. So if I wanted to, when I'm saying increasing speed, couldn't I say accelerating? Let's tie it into some words we know. Does anybody know what the word for slowing down is? Instead of accelerating, will? Decelerating. Good. So if you want to put by decreasing speed in parentheses here, that's the same as decelerating. I'm just sounding it out. Decelerating. That's the same thing. So before, in a distance graph, a line like this, are you looking at my arm? A line like this meant a constant speed for a distance graph, right? Now, what's a constant speed? Alright, so let's now answer the bottom. How would the above be different if the y-axis were distance from the start? Okay? Mariceli. So AB would be constant speed. BC would be stopped. CD would be constant speed. By the way, if this were distance time, where was the person going faster, on AB or CD, and how can you tell? CD, Noli says. How could you tell that? It's a steeper slope. Very good. All right. DE would mean stopped. EF means you're going back towards the start. Okay? It's not decelerating, actually, because you're just going, like, so, Donovan, let's say I'm distance from the door. If I'm going away from the door, then my distance is going up, and then stopped, going up more, stopped. Now this means I'm not decelerating, I'm just going back towards the door. Okay? So this is constant speed, but I'm going to write back towards, constant speed back towards the start. FG would mean what? And GH, constant speed away from the start, right?